Student, will see the next points under the minors agreement, that is 11th one, minors liability in torts. Okay, minors liability for is tort is nothing but civil wrongs is nothing but misusing the other property, other physical attack to other's property, or conversion, or a wrongful use of another person's property, or trespass over an immovable property, or negligence. These all included in the tort is nothing but civil wrongs. If the minor is did any civil wrongs, okay, misusing others property or any other thing, in that case minor is liable for that. Minor himself is liable. So, minor's liability in torts is nothing but wrongful use of another's property, or the physical attack, or assault is nothing but physical attack. Okay, so, a minor is liable for his tort which is independent of the contract. Okay, minor is liable for these things if the particular minor made injury to another person's property, or assault. I mean, any damages to the another person or person's property, in this case minor himself is liable for that. Okay, in this case, if by unknowingly or by negligently he made something means, or by unknowingly that minor made some mistakes means, it's not for that he's not liable, because he's inexperienced person, right? But knowingly and by negligence that minor did some mistakes means he is liable for that. See an example: a minor who was a Cambridge under graduate, is a graduate person at Cambridge University, hired a horse for the purpose of going for a ride. He hired he took a horse for rent for the purpose of riding. He expressly stated that he did not want a horse for jumping, and at the time of taking the horse for hire, he stated that he is not using that particular horse for the jumping. He led the horse to a friend who used it for jumping, but unfortunately, he used that horse for the jumping. As a result, the horse was injured and ultimately died. At the time of taking the horse, he stated that he just want horse for the ride, not for the jumping. But he knows that horse is not capable to jump, but even after knowing these things he used that horse for the jumping. Unfortunately, that horse injured and ultimately died. So a suit was filed against the minor for damages under tort. Now that particular owner of the horse filed a suit against the minor. The court held the minor liable for the damages under the tort on the ground that the wrongful action of the minor the minor was outside the contract, the minor could be held liable for damages under tort. Means under this, knowingly he did the mistakes, right? If the minor knowingly he did any mistakes means he is liable for that. In under this, the minor under this case, minor have to recover all the have to pay all the damages, okay, to the owner of the horse because of the death of the horse. Okay, this is the minor's liability in torts. Next one, contracts entered into by a minor do not bind his parents and guardians. A minor's parent or guardians are not liable for the contracts entered into by a minor, even if the contracts are for the supply of necessary to the minor. A minor or minor's parents or guardians are not liable for the minor's agreements. For example, now unknowingly, now the minor entered into agreement with the third person. Okay, for that liability the parents are not liable for that. However, if the minor is acting as an agent of the parents or guardians, if the minor is acting as an agent or agent of guardians or parents, in that case parents or guardians are liable for the minors act. In that case minor is liable, but under the uh, a minor parents or guardians are not liable for the contracts entered into a minor, even if the contracts are for the supply of necessary to the minor. Only in the case of the, if the a minor is appointed as the agent of parents and guardians, in that case minor parents or guardians are liable. Otherwise the parents and guardians are not liable for the minor's agreement. Okay, next one, contracts entered into by a minor's parents, guardians, or manage. The contract entered into by a minor's parents, guardians, or manager on behalf of the minor. Contracts entered into by a parents or guardians or minor or manager of the minor's estates on behalf of the minor and binding on the minor, provided the contracts are within the authority of the parents, guardians, and manager, and they are made for the benefit of the minor. See, in the last case, the minor is acting as the agent, then only the parents and the guardians are liable. Under this, contract enter into minors, parents, and guardians on behalf of the minor. On the behalf of the minor, parents, guardians, or manager of the minor enter into a contract. Guardians or managers or parents of a minor can enter into a contract on behalf of the minor, and such contracts are binding on the minor. But parents, guardians, and manager cannot enter into any contract for the purchase of immovable property on behalf of the minor without the consent of the court. Now, instead of the minor, the parents or the guardians or the manager can enter into a contract on behalf of the minor, but they cannot contract for the purchase of, they cannot enter into a contract for the purchase of immovable property on behalf of the minor. They cannot purchase immovable property on behalf of the minor, but they need the consent of the court. Though they can enter into a contract of sale of immovable property on behalf of the minor, though they can enter into a contract of, they can enter into a contract for the sale of immovable property, but they cannot purchase the immovable property. The parents, guardians, or managers of a minor have no right to bind the minor by entering into any entering into any contract of service on behalf of the minor. They cannot enter into an they can enter into an contract, okay, but sale of the immobile property or sale or purchase of the movable property, anything, but they cannot enter into a contract on behalf of the minor in case of purchase of immobile property, and in case of the contract relating to the service, they cannot enter into on behalf of the minor. Okay, next one, marriage contracts enter into by a minor are oid. A contract to marry in future, a contract to marry in future enter into by a minor is oid. For example, a minor enter into a contract with a girl. That particular minor is going to marry that particular girl in future after attaining the majority. It is a oid. You cannot contract enter into contract in when he was minor for the future for future contracts. Okay, so a contract to marry in future enter into by a minor is, it is a oid. Next one, minor as an agent. Minor as an agent, minor can be appointed as an agent of a principal. He can appointed as an agent of principal. When a minor acts as an agent of a principal, all contracts entered into by the minor in the course of agency are binding on the principal and not on the minor. Minor can be appointed as an agent, but when a minor acts as an agent of the principal, all the contracts entered into by the minor in course of agency are binding on the principal and not the minor. If the particular minor, he can act as an agent of the principal, but he is not binding to the any contract. Principal only liable for the all the benefits and the losses of the particular contract. Means Contract entered into by a minor as an agent of the principal are binding on the principal. The minor cannot be held personally liable to the principal for his negligence or breach of duty. He is not liable for the anything. In appointing a minor as an agent, a principal runs a great risk. For example, because of the negligence or because of the inexperience of the minor, he did some mistakes. Okay, the particular principal appointed a minor as an agent at the time of doing any work. Because of his negligence, because of the inexperience, he did some mistakes. In that case, who is going to be liable? Principal only is going to be liable. So appointing minor as an agent is a big risk for a particular principal. If he is ready to take the risk, then only he can appoint a minor as an mm, agent of a particular principal. Okay, this is about the minor as an agent. We'll see the next points under the next class. Thank you.